away because it really reminded me of that natural state of fitra, you know, how we are born in such amazing abilities. And it really brought me to the idea of, you know, just look at children when they are born, the confidence, the abilities, the skills, humanly they have. You know, although they don't have the language to say what they want to say, they know everything. They know the whole world. So when we are born in that state of ability, but as we grow up, we forget that we are talented, we are strong, we are confident, we have got skills, because people say different things to us. So, you know, when you want to do something in life and someone looks at you and says, really? You want to do that? And immediately you decided, oh, I'm not good at this, I can't do this, I have got limitations. And I think when I heard this as a concept, I really resonated with it, and I thought, you know, this is very close to my Islamic understanding of what a human being is. And if we can bring just the best out of everybody, I think the Muslim community will be a different place. And the world could change because we can work with what we have rather than always striving for what we don't. And I think people find it probably very frustrating. Like, I remember myself, I used to find it very frustrating that, oh, I need to have this before I can be, you know, empowered. But actually, we have everything. So for me, the word coactive really summed up that what we have is enough, but there is still work to do. And I think the element of the Islamic ethos of learning every single day and be better tomorrow than I was today, or better today than I was yesterday, is about that constant self-development. And I think my work really moves around people who are striving to be their best, not just good, but better. So coaching is really the journey between from good to great. And I think that's, particularly for me, that's an Islamic ethos of developing yourself on a daily basis. So that's what I try to do.
Thank you. Actually, I am a coach myself. Yes. Our method is the same. We believe on the capacity of the women. We know that they can more. We know they are victims. They were victims not because they are not strong enough or because they are foolish or something like this. We know that they can more, but our origin method now is the intersectional method. And it means that we don't think that the violence against the woman is just for she is Muslim or because she has, because he drank or because he was jealous. We think that a lot of things which become to the violence. We try to do it, but we know how the man or the husband think about the woman is the very important thing. If he sees the woman or women as not a full capable human being, then it would be a problem. If you think that he owns the child, then it will be a problem because we can't own our children. That's how we see our method. It's intersectional, and it's how the men or how the society sees the woman, the women, the children, which value they have in the society.
Thank you. Thanks, Henrietta and Aisha. The Khadija project is based on an acronym, and for those of you who were here early yesterday, you might have heard it. But the acronym is IMAD, which is I-M-A-D. I stands for Islam, M stands for Medvetenhet, which means awareness. A stands for Ansvar, which means responsibility. And then D stands for Delaktighet, which stands for participation. we're trying to work more with the psyche of the Muslim community. How do we think of each other in form of gender? How do Muslim women view their roles within the family, within the society, and what is their duty towards their family and their society? But likewise, it's mutual, because we believe there's two sides to the coin. We believe that there's a partnership between men and women, and that we have forgotten this. So Islam stands for where we derive our motivation. We derive our motivation from our faith. Because we believe, like Henrietta says, we have everything there already, we just don't know how to use it. Then, for medvetenhet, which is awareness, we feel that a lot of women, and sometimes men, both, do not have access to the wide and the rich knowledge that is in Islam. We're not familiar with our own history, with our own rights in the religion as to how to treat each other. We always go to people who claim to be learned and we listen to them instead of taking responsibility and reading our own Muslim texts and seeing what does my God tell me about my purpose on this earth and my relationship to others. So we're trying to raise awareness also for the women to read in Islamic history, to rediscover all these women that have contributed to the evolvement of Islam in forms of science, math, culture, history, and to perhaps build the seeds for these women to write books on them for the future. Because now, if you want to find a book about, say, Umar ibn al-Khattab, you'll find volumes. And as our colleague Maysoon says, but when we try to find books on the women in Islam, they're this thin. So we need to reinvest. That's awareness. Once we've raised this awareness, I think everyone becomes so proud when they look into the religious history and say, wow, we have this heritage. This is what the women and the men of the Islamic past have done so far. What happened? Where have we diverged? So it is to put it back in perspective and take responsibility. What can I do as an individual? What is my responsibility? And everyone is a different individual and everyone has a different responsibility to claim. We seek to guide each other to that responsibility. Once we've taken responsibility and we take active steps to fulfill our responsibilities, we immediately, by default, become participants and active actors in the Muslim civil society, fulfilling our purposes. This is a long process. It's complicated. It's not always easy. People are very different based on our background cultures, the way we interpret religions. But we try to be all embracive of different ways of thinking, all different walks of life in the Muslim family, because we believe that at the end, this will unite us all.
Thank you again, everybody. I would like to continue with you, Dina, so then we can continue to roll out. What kind of problems or limitations have you seen in the process of working with Khadija project? For example, when you have tried to reach to the youth, because you have been working with activities, for example, what kind of obstacles, what kind of attitude have you been experiencing? And also this question is for you, Henrietta and Aisha also, what kind of obstacles have you guys seen? What kind of problems have you seen that has been hard to work with these kind of questions about empowering the women?
The number one issue that I see amongst people our age and in the youth is placidity, indifference. We're very satisfied living our lives the way we are because we're afraid to invite complexity. We're afraid of opposition. That's one. Second is finding all these eager people. Oh, your project sounds like such a good idea. Finally, this is something long awaited. Power to the women. And we're like, what does power to the women mean to you? yeah, women, we're strong, we can do this. Yeah, but what does that mean? And often it's based off of this anger that women have towards men. I mean, some men deserve it, quite honestly, but this is not what we're trying to emphasize. We're trying to emphasize a good relationship between men and women. So we're not planning activities on how to bomb mosques where there's mostly men or something. We're trying to reinstitute the Islamic relationship between men and women. So we get this excitement in the beginning and we say, okay, well then we're going to have an activity, please come. And then they come and then they discover, oh, I have to work really hard with myself. I have to work very hard with other people, and then they fall away. So this is a big problem, because this is not, if we want to start